Imagine for a moment that every limitation you feel about money is nothing but an illusion, a shadow on the wall of your mind, projected by years of doubt, fear, and conditioned beliefs. What if the reality you long for, the wealth, the ease, the freedom, is already available, waiting not in the distant future, but within your present state of consciousness? You see, the greatest deception most people live under is the belief that they have to wait for money to come before they can feel wealthy, before they can think abundantly, before they can live with the confidence of someone who already possesses riches. But this belief is precisely what keeps them trapped in lack. Money doesn't flow to those who beg for it. It flows to those who expect it, those who already feel aligned with its presence even when their bank account suggests otherwise. It's not about arrogance. It's not about pretending in the shallow sense of the word. It's about aligning your inner world so completely with the life you desire that reality has no choice but to conform. And here's the hidden truth. You are always living in alignment with something. For most, they align with scarcity, with fear, with waiting. And so life delivers more of the same. But when you understand the creative power within you, you stop waiting, you stop postponing joy, confidence, or boldness until the world gives you permission. You step into the feeling of wealth now, not tomorrow, not after the promotion, not after the sale, but now. You walk, speak, breathe, and carry yourself as though you already have it. And in doing so, you send a clear instruction to life. This is who I am. This is my state. This is my reality. Have you ever noticed how some people, even before they make it, carry themselves with an undeniable aura of success? It's not luck, it's not coincidence, it's the power of embodying the state ahead of time. They aren't faking confidence, they are dwelling in it. And money, opportunities, connections, they are drawn to that state like metal to a magnet. The world rearranges itself around their belief. But most people wait. They say, when I have money, I'll feel secure. When I have money, I'll start that business. When I have money, I'll walk with confidence. But they misunderstand the order of life. The security, the boldness, the action. It comes first. The money follows. The state precedes the manifestation. Always. So stop waiting. Stop living as if your desires are somewhere out there, beyond your reach, dangling like bait in front of you. The only thing separating you from wealth is your state, the inner acceptance of who you believe yourself to be. Shift that, and you shift everything. Act as if you have it now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances look better, but now. And watch how the world begins to bend, subtly at first, then unmistakably, to reflect the richness you've chosen to embody. Your inner state creates your financial reality. Everything you experience in your external world is a reflection of your inner state. This is not philosophy, it's a fundamental law of how reality unfolds. Look closely at your life, your finances, your circumstances. They are not random occurrences. They are mirrors held up by life itself, showing you the dominant patterns of thought, emotion, and belief you carry within. When it comes to money, the same principle applies. Your financial reality is a direct consequence of your inner relationship with abundance or lack. The majority of people misunderstand this relationship. They believe money will come first, and then their feelings of confidence, security, or freedom will follow. But the truth is inverted. It is your feelings, your assumptions, your inner dialogue about money that create the conditions for its arrival or its absence. If you habitually think of yourself as someone who lacks, struggles, or waits for wealth, you unconsciously reinforce those conditions, no matter how hard you work or how many opportunities present themselves. The world responds to the dominant vibration you emit, not your words alone, not your temporary actions, but the deep, consistent state you occupy. You cannot deceive life by pretending outwardly if inwardly you harbor fear, doubt, or scarcity. But when you genuinely shift your inner state, When you embody the feeling of wealth, success, and ease, the world begins to reflect that state back to you in surprising ways. Consider those who seem to effortlessly attract financial opportunities. It's not luck. It's not because they were chosen or born into privilege. It's because their inner world is so saturated with the expectation of success that the universe by law must comply. They walk with an energy that says, I am worthy of wealth. I am aligned with abundance. And life, without fail, echoes that belief through circumstances, relationships, and financial flow. On the other hand, think of those who constantly struggle with money despite endless effort. Often beneath their actions is a foundation of fear, a belief that money is hard to come by, that they are undeserving, or that wealth belongs to others, not them, and so they live out that expectation. The outer world is never the starting point, it is the end result of your persistent inner state. The most powerful shift you can make is to stop reacting to what your current bank account says and start consciously creating from within. How do you feel when you think of money? Are you anxious, resentful, desperate, or do you feel empowered, deserving, and abundant, regardless of the numbers? Your consistent emotional posture around money sends a command to life. When you dwell in lack, life mirrors lack. When you dwell in abundance, life reflects abundance. You are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are not waiting for the economy, your job, or someone else to dictate your financial destiny. You hold that power now by shifting your inner state, by embodying the feeling of already having wealth, by thinking, speaking, and moving through life as though money is already part of your reality. Master your inner state, and your financial reality will have no choice but to rise to meet it. Feel wealthy before money shows up? The greatest misunderstanding people carry is believing that wealth is something you experience only after money arrives. But the deeper truth is that the experience of wealth begins long before physical money manifests. It starts within your consciousness, with your ability to feel, embody, and dwell in the energy of wealth, even if your current circumstances suggest otherwise. Ask yourself, what does it feel like to be wealthy? Not just in theory, but in emotion, posture, and energy. When you close your eyes and imagine your bank accounts overflowing, your debts paid, your life lived on your terms, what sensations arise? Most dismiss these feelings as fantasy, but this is the precise doorway through which abundance enters. You are not required to wait for conditions to change before you change your emotional state. In fact, life demands that you reverse this order. You must first feel wealthy before the physical evidence appears. This is not wishful thinking, it is the blueprint of manifestation. Every outcome begins in the unseen realm of imagination and emotion. The outer world simply reflects back the inner world you consistently occupy. The challenge is that most people are addicted to reacting to their current circumstances. They open their banking app, see a low balance, and immediately fall into fear, frustration, or hopelessness. They believe this emotional reaction is justified, yet they fail to see that this reaction reinforces the very condition they wish to escape. To transcend this cycle, you must train yourself to feel wealthy regardless of appearances. You must walk with the energy of abundance even when your wallet feels thin. Speak with the confidence of someone who already possesses riches, even if others around you doubt. Carry yourself with the expectation of prosperity, even when the evidence seems absent. This is not delusion, it is creative alignment. It is using the same faculties you employ to worry, fear, and doubt, but redirecting them toward empowerment, gratitude, and certainty. Think of it this way. Everything you now possess began with a thought, a belief, and assumption. Your current reality is the harvest of seeds planted long ago in your mind. If you wish to change the harvest, you must change the seeds. And the soil in which they grow is your emotional state. Feel rich now. and you plant the seed of wealth. Continue watering that seed with consistent, elevated emotion, and life will deliver the harvest in ways you may not expect, but cannot deny. Notice how those who naturally attract money often seem calm, confident, and secure, even before they achieve visible success. This is not coincidence. Their inner state of wealth preceded their outer wealth. They felt rich long before the world caught up. The same is available to you. You are not waiting for permission from money to feel wealthy. You grant yourself that permission now. You breathe in the energy of abundance now. You stand in the identity of prosperity now, and from that elevated state, life begins to rearrange itself, opportunities unfold, unexpected income arrives, doors open, people appear, because you dared to feel wealthy before the money showed up. The sequence is clear. Feeling precedes form. Embody the wealth now, and watch as money by law follows. Full response to confidence, not hesitation. Confidence is an invisible currency, more valuable than most people realize. Long before money lands in your hand, confidence announces your arrival to the world. It is the energy that precedes opportunity, the silent force that signals to life itself, I am ready, I am worthy, I expect abundance. Yet, most people hesitate. They wait for visible proof before they allow themselves to feel secure. They hold back their full expression, their bold energy, because they believe wealth must show up first. But that belief keeps them stuck. Hesitation repels opportunity. The world mirrors back to you not your quiet desires, but your dominant energy. The state you carry in your body, your posture, your speech, your presence. When you hesitate, life hesitates. When you doubt, life reflects uncertainty. But when you stand firm in the energy of already having wealth, when you move with the calm authority of someone who knows their worth, the world cannot help but respond. Look at successful people. Before they became visibly rich, they often walked with an undeniable confidence, a quiet certainty that they belonged in rooms of influence, that they were destined for greatness, that money would come. They didn't wait for external validation to feel powerful. Their energy, their belief, their expectation created the conditions for money to appear. Hesitation, on the other hand, broadcasts insecurity. It whispers to the universe, I'm unsure. I don't believe I'm worthy yet. I'll only feel abundant when life proves it to me. But life doesn't work on that schedule. Your inner certainty must come first. You cannot afford to wait for circumstances to give you permission to feel empowered. You must grant yourself that permission now. Confidence is magnetic. It pulls people, opportunities, and resources toward you because it signals alignment with abundance. It is not arrogance. It is quiet assurance. It is the unwavering knowing that wealth is already part of your reality, even if the numbers haven't caught up yet. Think of your energy like a radio signal. When you hesitate, your signal is weak, scattered, full of static. But when you stand in confidence, your frequency sharpens, amplifies, and attracts the precise experiences you desire. Money flows not to those who chase it desperately, but to those who stand still in certainty, knowing it will come. Confidence reshapes how you speak about money, how you handle opportunities, how you carry yourself in every interaction. It alters your decisions. A person who believes in their inevitable wealth takes bold action, speaks with clarity, presents ideas with authority, and positions themselves for success. And life mirrors that belief. Hesitation, on the other hand, keeps you circling the same mountain of scarcity. You delay action, you play small. You reject opportunities because fear whispers that you're not ready. But the truth is, readiness begins with confidence. Not with external signs, but with the inner state of already being wealthy, in mind and spirit. The world watches your energy more than your words. Speak abundance with your posture. Carry wealth in your energy. Move as if you belong in every room. every opportunity, every financial breakthrough. Life will take notice and respond. Living from the end is the shortcut to manifestation. There's a simple but overlooked secret to creating wealth, and it's not hard work alone, nor is it luck or waiting for the right opportunity. The shortcut to manifestation is this: live from the end. What does that mean? It means you occupy right now the mental and emotional state of your desired future, as though it were already here. You think from it, feel from it, speak from it, and move through life as though the outcome is certain, inevitable, already done. Most people live toward their desires. They place their goal on the horizon, always just out of reach. They say things like, one day, when I'm rich, when I have more money, when life finally changes. And by doing so, they keep their desires perpetually distant, chasing them but never arriving. They approach wealth like a moving target, always in the future, never now. But to live from the end is to collapse time. It's to bring the experience of wealth into this moment, through feeling, imagination, and action. When you live from the end, you no longer ask, when will I have money? You ask, how would I feel, think, and behave if I were already wealthy now? And then you do exactly that. You embody the outcome before the evidence arrives. You speak with the ease of someone who no longer worries about bills. You carry yourself with the calm authority of someone who has options, resources, and freedom. You dwell in the emotional frequency of success, not as wishful thinking, but as a creative command to life itself. This is how manifestation accelerates. The universe responds to your state, not your words alone. When your inner world reflects the end result, the confidence, the gratitude, the expectation, the outer world has no choice but to align. Living from the end also silences doubt. You are no longer waiting for external proof to feel secure. Your certainty is rooted in your state. You bypass the limiting beliefs that say, it's hard to make money, or it'll take years. Instead, you dwell in the assumption that wealth is already woven into your reality, unfolding naturally, without struggle. Consider how actors prepare for a role. They embody the character fully, mannerisms, speech, emotions, as though they are that person. In doing so, they create a convincing reality for the audience. You must do the same with your desired life. You play the role of the wealthy version of yourself, not as pretense but as practice, until it becomes your new identity. Living from the end doesn't mean reckless spending or false displays of wealth. It means cultivating the inner experience of abundance so powerfully that life begins to reflect it back in physical form through opportunities, financial growth, and unexpected blessings. The shortcut is not in waiting for life to shift, but in becoming the version of yourself who has already arrived. Wealth is not something you chase. It's a state you enter, embody, and express. Live from the end, and the world will catch up. The money, the success, the freedom. It all begins with your willingness to act, feel, and think from your desired future as though it were your present. Stop giving power to lack and limitation. The greatest obstacle between you and the wealth you desire isn't your background, your current circumstances, or the opportunities you think you've missed. The true obstacle is the power you continuously hand over to lack and limitation. Every time you dwell on what's missing, what you don't have, what hasn't arrived, what feels delayed, you feed the very energy that keeps abundance at a distance. Most people are unaware of how deeply they worship their limitations. They speak of them daily. They rehearse them in their minds like a script they've memorized. Money doesn't come easily. The economy is against me. I never have enough. I'm always behind. Each of these statements, whether spoken aloud or silently repeated in thought, reinforces the state of lack. Understand this: your words, thoughts, and emotions are creative forces. You are not merely observing life, you are shaping it with every belief you entertain. When you give your attention, your energy, and your emotional investment to limitation, you anchor yourself to that experience. The more you focus on scarcity, the more real it becomes, not because it holds inherent power, but because you empower it. Lack is like a shadow. It appears large and intimidating only when you shine your attention upon it. Withdraw your focus, shift your state, and the shadow loses its form. But as long as you sit beneath its shade, speaking of how limited you are, how trapped you feel, how impossible wealth seems, you breathe life into scarcity. The mistake most make is believing that lack is a fact of life they cannot escape. But in truth, it is a reflection, a temporary echo of your inner state, not a permanent condition. The moment you decide to stop bowing to your limitations, stop repeating stories of struggle, stop energizing scarcity with your focus, you loosen its grip. Consider how easily people bond over shared limitations. Conversations revolve around how expensive everything is, how wages aren't enough, how hard life has become. These dialogues seem harmless, but they are rituals of reinforcement. Group affirmations of lack that plant seeds of scarcity deeper into the subconscious. But you have the power to disrupt that cycle. You can choose moment by moment where your energy flows. Will you feed limitation with your attention, or will you starve it by shifting your focus to abundance, even when it's not yet visible? It requires discipline. Your environment, your past, and even your current bank account may tempt you to dwell in limitation, but you must rise above appearances. You must remember that reality bends to the dominant state you occupy, not the fleeting conditions you observe. Start by observing your language. Catch yourself in moments where you speak of lack, where you predict struggle, where you declare limitation as your identity. Replace those words with declarations of abundance, even if they feel unfamiliar at first. Next, guard your thoughts. When fear whispers, "There's never enough," respond with certainty, "Wealth is already finding its way to me." When doubt says, "It's impossible," answer, "Everything I desire is unfolding now." Most importantly, embody the energy of someone who refuses to be defined by temporary limitation. Walk, speak, think, and live as though abundance is your natural state. As you do, the power you once gave to lack dissolves, and in its place, wealth flows with ease. Wealth is an identity you wear before you own it. Wealth isn't just a number in your bank account. It's an identity. It's a way of being, thinking, moving, and existing that precedes the arrival of money itself. Most people misunderstand this. They wait for wealth to arrive before they feel wealthy. But that approach reverses the order of creation. In truth, you must become the wealthy version of yourself long before the money appears. The world responds to your identity, not your hopes. Think of identity as the deepest layer of your self-concept. It's who you believe you are beneath the surface, beyond the temporary conditions, beyond what your current life looks like. When you adopt the identity of a wealthy person, you begin to make decisions, take actions, and emit energy that aligns with abundance. And as a result, wealth begins to materialize to match the identity you've chosen. It's not about faking success, it's about shifting who you are at the core. A person with a wealthy identity doesn't operate from desperation, fear, or scarcity. They carry a quiet confidence, an expectation that life works in their favor, that resources flow naturally, that money is a tool they command, not a mystery they chase. You can often sense this identity before it's visible in physical form. Someone may not yet be a millionaire on paper, but they move like one. They handle themselves with dignity. They approach opportunities with boldness. They engage with life as though they already belong in circles of influence, wealth, and success. And life, by its nature, reorganizes itself to reflect that inner reality. Contrast that with those trapped in the identity of lack. Even when opportunities appear, they hesitate, they downplay their worth, they expect rejection, hardship, or scarcity, and so they create self-fulfilling prophecies that keep wealth away. Their identity whispers, "I'm not wealthy," and life echoes back, "As you wish." You must understand that wealth flows to the identity you wear, not the conditions you observe. If you consistently identify as someone struggling, waiting, or falling behind, wealth feels like an impossible climb. But when you shift your identity to that of a person who already has access to abundance, doors open that once seemed locked. Begin by asking, who is the wealthy version of me? How do they think? How do they speak about money? How do they approach challenges, risks, and opportunities? How do they stand, breathe, move, and show up in the world? You don't wait for the numbers to change before you adopt this identity. You wear it now. You allow your body, your words, your actions to reflect this version of you, even in the face of temporary lack. This is not arrogance. It's alignment. It's becoming a vibrational match to the reality you desire. Wealth is not something you stumble upon by accident. It's something you magnetize through identity. You broadcast to life, "This is who I am now." And life responds with circumstances, people, and resources that mirror that self-concept. When you wear the identity of wealth, scarcity loses its grip. You no longer seek permission from the world to feel abundant. You create abundance from within. And watch as the outer world scrambles to catch up. Act now. Your bold energy commands money's arrival. Action is the bridge between the invisible world of your assumptions and the visible world of your reality. But here's where most people misunderstand the power of action. They act from desperation, fear, or lack, and as a result, their actions produce little or no change. True effective action, the kind that commands money to arrive, must be born from the state of already having what you desire. When you act from that inner certainty, your energy is bold, your presence is magnetic, and your world responds. Understand this. You are always taking action even when you hesitate, even when you procrastinate, even when you overthink. Those are actions driven by fear. But they don't produce wealth. They produce more hesitation, more scarcity, more delay. To break this cycle, you must act as if the money is already yours. Not someday, not in theory, but now. You move as the version of yourself who expects success, who believes in their inevitable abundance, who refuses to shrink in the face of temporary conditions. Think of bold energy as a declaration to the universe. When you act with certainty, with confidence, with the posture of someone who already possesses wealth, life takes notice. Opportunities reveal themselves. People are drawn to your conviction. Resources align in ways that defy logic. You are not chasing money, you are commanding it through your energy, your choices, and your unwavering belief. But most people wait. They postpone action until the perfect moment. They tell themselves, "I'll start the business when I have more savings. I'll invest when the economy improves. I'll step into my purpose when I feel ready." But life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't linger, and readiness is a product of action, not the other way around. When you act now, boldly, without waiting for conditions to look perfect, you set powerful forces into motion. Even small actions, when fueled by the energy of abundance, ripple into massive results. You make the call, you start the project, you share your ideas, you walk into the room with the energy of someone who belongs there, and suddenly doors that were once closed begin to open. Bold energy isn't reckless, it's intentional. It comes from a place of knowing, of trusting that your desires are valid, your goals are worthy, and wealth is already aligned with you. You're not forcing life to cooperate, you're cooperating with the law of your own belief. The stronger your inner state, the more powerful your actions become. Consider this: the world responds not to your hesitation, your waiting, your second guessing, but to your certainty. People invest in leaders who radiate confidence. Opportunities gravitate toward those who carry the energy of success. Money flows where boldness resides. Your current circumstances are not a barrier. They are a reflection of how boldly or timidly you've been acting. The question is, how would you move today if you knew wealth was inevitable? How would you speak? What would you pursue? Who would you connect with? What decisions would you make if money wasn't a worry but a certainty? That is the energy you must step into now, regardless of appearances. Act as if the universe has already approved your success, because energetically it has. Your belief shapes your world. Your boldness commands results. Your present actions, infused with certainty, create the conditions for money's arrival. You're not waiting for wealth. Wealth is waiting for you to step up, to act, to embody the state that pulls it into your reality. The moment you stop hesitating and start moving with bold energy is the moment life accelerates to meet you. You've been taught to believe that wealth arrives first, and then your confidence, your boldness, your freedom follow. But the truth defies that pattern. Your wealth, your success, your abundant life are not waiting in the distant future. They are waiting in your state of being right now. Your inner world, the way you think, feel, speak, and act, is the blueprint for your financial reality. Stop waiting for money to give you permission to feel worthy. Stop holding back your energy until circumstances look perfect. Begin now. Act as if you already have it. Feel the wealth within you. Carry the energy of success. The world doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to certainty. And when you dwell in the state of abundance, when you boldly act from the end, life cannot help but rearrange itself to reflect your belief. You don't attract money by longing for it. You attract it by embodying it, by living, breathing, moving, and thinking as though it's already yours. Stop waiting for money. Act as if you have it now, and watch as the world delivers it in ways you never imagined. When you hold on to something too tightly, you create resistance. Your mind becomes tangled in the idea that you must control every outcome, every step of the journey. But the truth is, the more you try to force things to unfold your way, the more you block the natural flow of life. It is only when you let go of the need to control that the universe can step in and work its magic. You've been taught to believe that everything must be planned, calculated, and organized. But in the grand scheme of things, these things are mere illusions. When you trust the universe, you surrender to a higher wisdom that knows far more than your conscious mind can comprehend. It is not about doing, it's about being open to receive and allowing things to unfold effortlessly. To release the pressure. Let go of the tension in your body, the anxiety in your mind, and the fear that something will go wrong. The universe has its own way of bringing things into alignment, and when you trust it, you align yourself with it. Every moment is a chance to relax into the natural flow of life, trusting that what you need will come to you when the time is right. The universe is not a separate entity from you, it is within you. You are one with it, and what you give your attention to, you manifest. But you must stop pushing, stop forcing. Let go and allow the universe to respond to your inner state of peace and trust. Trust is the key that unlocks the door to your desires. Without it, you remain stuck, caught in a cycle of fear and doubt. You don't have to have all the answers. In fact, when you let go of the need for answers, you create the space for inspiration to come. Inspiration flows from a place of calm, from a place of trust, And when you allow it, you will find yourself guided effortlessly toward the life you've always dreamed of. The answers will come when you trust that they already exist. Life is a constant unfolding of your inner world. Your thoughts shape your reality, and when you relax and trust, you give your subconscious mind the freedom to create the life you desire. The universe is always at work behind the scenes, arranging the details you can't see. When you trust this process, you open yourself to limitless possibilities. The most powerful thing you can do is trust that everything is working out for you. Even when it seems like nothing is going your way, trust that it is, in fact, working in your favor. The universe is always conspiring to bring you what you desire, but it cannot work if you are constantly trying to control the outcome. Surrender, relax, and trust. When you trust the universe, you stop fighting against life. You stop struggling and pushing, and instead you begin to dance with it. The rhythm of life is always moving, and when you align yourself with it, you experience a flow that feels effortless. Let go of your resistance, and you will begin to see miracles unfold before your eyes. The act of letting go is an act of self-love. It is saying to yourself, I trust myself, I trust life, and I trust the universe. When you surrender your fears, doubts, and anxieties, you are choosing peace. And from that place of peace, your desires manifest effortlessly, because you are no longer blocking them with your doubts. Trusting the universe is the greatest act of faith you can have. When you trust, you acknowledge that there is a greater power at work. You know that whatever is meant for you will find its way to you in perfect timing. The universe is always on your side, guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. When you hold on to something too tightly, you create resistance. You begin to focus more on the fear of losing control than on the natural flow of life. The more you try to force things, the more you push them away, blocking the very things you want to bring into your life. When you're constantly trying to make things happen on your terms, you're not allowing space for the universe to work its own magic. The universe doesn't need your force or control, it needs your trust. The moment you let go and stop trying to control the outcome, you free yourself from resistance and open yourself to the effortless flow of what is meant to come. You've been taught that in order to achieve anything in life, you must constantly work, strive, and plan every detail. The world conditions you to believe that success comes only to those who can control every aspect of their lives, who push relentlessly toward their goals. But this mindset creates tension and blocks the natural flow of the universe. In truth, the more you let go of the need to control every outcome, the more the universe is able to guide you toward what you desire. Control is an illusion, and it is not through force or struggle that things align in your life. It is through trust and relaxation that the universe begins to unfold your path. Trusting the universe means allowing things to happen without the need to dictate how or when they should happen. When you trust, you accept that there is a higher force working behind the scenes, aligning everything in perfect harmony. This is not about passively waiting for things to happen, but rather about understanding that the universe is always at work, even when you can't see it. The more you let go of your need for control, the more you create space for synchronicities to enter your life. You become open to the signs, the nudges, and the opportunities that are always available but often go unnoticed when you're too focused on your own plans. Trusting the universe means recognizing that it is not just an outside force, but a reflection of your own inner state. The energy you put out is the energy you attract. When you live in a state of trust, you send out a vibration that attracts similar energy from the universe. The more you relax into trust, the more the universe can respond to you in ways that align with your deepest desires. This is where true manifestation happens, not by force, but by surrender. When you relax, you shift your energy from one of resistance to one of allowing. You stop fighting against what is and start embracing the flow of what could be. By trusting the universe, you are also trusting yourself. Trusting that you are worthy of receiving what you desire and that everything you need is already on its way. Trusting the universe is trusting your own ability to create, knowing that you have the power to manifest your dreams without having to control every step of the process. It's about allowing yourself to receive, letting go of the fears and doubts that make you feel like you must control everything in order to get what you want. When you let go of control, you allow the universe to work its wonders. You may not see the immediate results, but that is where faith comes in. Trusting the universe requires patience. You don't need to know every detail, every step of the way. You simply need to trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that the universe has your best interest at heart and that it will deliver what you need exactly when you need it. When you let go of control and trust the universe, you create space within yourself for a deeper level of relaxation. Relaxation is not just about releasing physical tension, it's about calming the mind and allowing your inner state to be at peace. In a world that constantly demands more from you, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the pressure to constantly do, achieve, and control every outcome. But when you trust the universe, you realize that you don't need to force things into place. Instead, you can sit back, relax, and allow life to unfold as it is meant to. True relaxation comes from a place of knowing that you are supported, that there is a greater plan unfolding, and that your desires are already on their way to you. When you hold on to control, your mind becomes clouded with worry and anxiety. Your body reflects that tension and your energy becomes blocked. But when you trust, you release those worries. You release the fear that things won't work out, and you surrender to the knowing that the universe is always aligning things in your favor. This surrender isn't about giving up, it's about giving in to the flow of life. Trusting the universe allows you to relax your mind and body. You no longer have to constantly calculate, analyze, or strategize. You stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and instead step into a space where you know everything is working for you. As you relax into trust, your body naturally responds by releasing tension. You start to feel lighter, more at ease, and more open to the possibilities life has to offer. This is when your energy becomes magnetic, attracting what you desire effortlessly. Relaxation is a form of self-care that aligns you with the universe. When you are relaxed, you are more in tune with your intuition, more open to the subtle guidance the universe provides. Stress and anxiety block your ability to receive messages from your inner self and the universe. But when you let go and relax, you become more attuned to the signs and opportunities that are always present. Your mind clears and you can see the path ahead with greater clarity. The noise of control and worry fades, and you're able to make decisions from a place of calm and confidence. By letting go and relaxing, you also give yourself permission to be present. You stop focusing on the future or worrying about the past. Instead, you embrace the moment, trusting that everything you need is already unfolding. In this state of relaxation, you are able to appreciate the journey rather than always seeking the next goal. You start to enjoy the process, knowing that each step you take is part of the larger plan that the universe has for you. When you allow yourself to relax, you align your energy with that of the universe. You stop pushing against the natural flow of life and instead become part of it. This alignment is where magic happens. This is where synchronicities appear and where your desires materialize without the force of control. Relax, trust, and let the universe take care of the rest. Trusting the universe means recognizing that it is not a separate force from you, but an extension of your own being. The universe is not outside of you, operating independently, but rather a reflection of your inner world. When you trust the universe, you are also trusting your own ability to create and align with the life you desire. The energy you put out into the world, the vibrations you send into the universe, are mirrored back to you. Your inner state is the key to unlocking the abundant flow that the universe is always offering. The connection between you and the universe is like a magnet. When you are at peace within yourself, when you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, you attract the same energy from the universe. Trusting the universe is not about hoping something will happen in your favor. It's about knowing deep down that everything you need is already on its way. It is about releasing any doubts or fears that might make you feel separate from the good things you desire. The universe is not a distant entity that has to be earned or begged for. It is always here, supporting you, guiding you, and reflecting your inner beliefs. When you trust the universe, you align your mind, body, and spirit with the natural flow of life. This alignment means that you no longer work against the current. You let go of the need to control and instead allow the universe to bring the people, circumstances, and opportunities into your life that will help you grow. The more you trust, the more you become a channel for that energy to move through you and into your experiences. When you trust the universe, you are, in essence, trusting your own ability to manifest and receive. This trust requires surrender. It means letting go of the fear that you won't get what you want, that things will fall apart, or that you're not deserving. These are illusions that prevent you from fully experiencing the abundance that is always available. Trusting the universe is knowing that you are worthy of everything you desire, and that what you want is already becoming your reality. You simply have to let go of the resistance and trust that it is unfolding perfectly. As you align with the universe through trust, you stop resisting life. You stop seeing obstacles as setbacks and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. The universe doesn't punish you, nor does it play favorites. It responds to your energy and the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world. When you believe that everything is working out for you, you see evidence of that belief reflected back in your experiences. Trust allows you to shift from a mindset of fear and lack to one of abundance and possibility. Trusting the universe is a recognition of the interconnectedness of all things. It is a reminder that the energy you put out into the world returns to you in ways you might not yet understand. You are not separate from the universe, you are a vital part of its vast, intricate design. When you trust the universe, you are also trusting that every experience, every moment is part of a greater plan. You stop forcing things to happen and instead flow with the rhythm of life, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. When you trust the universe, you understand that it works in its own time and rhythm. There's a natural flow that governs everything, and this flow is beyond your comprehension or control. The timing of the universe is not the same as the timing you often impose on yourself. The human mind can be impatient, always seeking immediate results or wanting things to unfold in a specific way, at a specific time. But when you trust the universe, you begin to understand that it operates on its own perfect schedule, one that is designed for your highest good. The universe doesn't rush, it doesn't need to. Its flow is constant, but it moves in cycles, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, but always in alignment with your growth and evolution. When you try to force things into place, you're resisting the natural pace of life. Trusting the universe means surrendering your need for instant gratification and understanding that what you desire is already in motion. It simply needs the right time to come to you, and that right time is determined by the universe, not by your expectations or anxieties. The process of letting go and trusting the universe requires patience. It requires faith in the unseen, belief in the order of things, and an understanding that the universe knows what is best for you. Often you may not understand why things are taking longer than expected or why they aren't unfolding the way you envisioned. However, each moment spent waiting is part of a larger plan. Sometimes the universe needs time to align everything around you. People, circumstances, and opportunities must be positioned in a way that allows your desires to come to fruition in the most perfect manner. You can't see this alignment happening in the background, but when you trust, you know it's happening regardless of your awareness. Trusting the universe's timing also means letting go of the belief that there's only one specific way for things to unfold. Often we limit ourselves by focusing only on one potential outcome. We think that the universe must deliver our desires in the exact way we envision them. But the universe operates in limitless possibilities, and it may bring what you desire in ways you never expected. The timing of these events, the way they unfold, and the forms they take may surprise you, but it will always be in alignment with your highest good. In trusting the universe's timing, you also learn to trust your own inner guidance. The more you align with the natural flow of life, the more you become attuned to the signs and messages the universe is constantly sending. You will begin to feel when it's time to take action and when it's time to be still. This inner knowing comes from a place of trust, from understanding that you are connected to the flow of the universe and that your intuition is a powerful tool guiding you along the way. When you trust the timing of the universe, you release the stress and anxiety that come from constantly trying to control the outcome. Instead, you step into a place of peace, knowing that everything is happening exactly as it should. You trust that the universe is delivering everything you need at the right time in the right way. This trust frees you from the pressure of having to make things happen on your own. You simply relax into the flow, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Trusting the universe requires you to surrender your attachment to specific outcomes. So often you fixate on a particular way you want things to unfold, believing that there is only one right path for your desires to come true. This attachment creates resistance. You try to force situations to align with your expectations, only to find that the harder you push, the more things seem to slip away or not manifest as you hoped. Trusting the universe is about releasing this attachment and opening yourself up to the possibility that things can unfold in ways that are beyond your limited understanding. When you let go of attachment, you free yourself from the burden of controlling every detail. You start to see that there are many ways to achieve the same desired outcome, and the universe may present a path you hadn't considered. Releasing attachment means that you stop clinging to a specific vision of how things should be. Instead of rigidly holding on to the belief that your way is the only way, you allow room for the universe to work its magic and surprise you with better opportunities and more harmonious solutions than you could have ever imagined. When you do this, you align yourself with the flow of life, which is constantly shifting and evolving. Attachment is rooted in fear, the fear that you won't get what you want, or that things will not turn out as you envisioned. When you trust the universe, you let go of this fear and replace it with the knowing that everything is working out in your favor. The universe has a plan for you, and that plan may look different from what you initially imagined, but it will always be for your highest good. The more you surrender your attachment, the more you release the need for perfection. You begin to appreciate the process and trust that every step you take, whether it feels like a success or a setback, is part of the unfolding journey toward your desires. Releasing attachment doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or desires. It means trusting that what you desire is already on its way to you, regardless of how or when it arrives. It means knowing that the universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, people, and events to bring you what you need at the right time. When you detach from the need for a specific outcome, you allow yourself to embrace the flow of life, trusting that whatever comes your way is in perfect alignment with your greater purpose. By surrendering attachment, you also remove the pressure you place on yourself. The anxiety and stress that come from trying to control every outcome fade away, leaving you with a sense of peace and confidence in the process. You start to enjoy the journey rather than constantly striving for an end goal. You learn to trust the universe's wisdom and timing, knowing that it will deliver what is best for you, even if it doesn't always match your original vision. The act of letting go and releasing attachment opens you up to infinite possibilities. You stop limiting yourself to one way of thinking and start to see that there are many paths to your desires. Each path is equally valid, and the universe will guide you to the one that is best suited for your growth and well-being. When you trust, you embrace the unknown and allow the universe to work its wonders in your life. Trusting the universe is about believing in its infinite abundance and knowing that it is always working in your favor. The universe operates on a principle of endless supply, and when you trust it, you align with this flow of abundance. Often people hold the belief that there is not enough to go around, that they must struggle to get what they want, or that resources are limited. This belief creates blocks in their lives, preventing them from fully experiencing the wealth and prosperity the universe has to offer. Trusting the universe means letting go of the idea that you are ever in lack and embracing the understanding that there is more than enough for everyone. When you trust the universe, you begin to shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. You understand that the universe's abundance is not just about material wealth, it encompasses everything you need: love, joy, opportunities, creativity, health, and growth. The universe is constantly providing, constantly expanding, and when you trust it, you stop worrying about how things will manifest. You know that everything you desire is available to you. You start to feel the flow of abundance, and as you do, you naturally begin to attract more of it into your life. This is not about forcing abundance into your experience, but about aligning with it and allowing it to enter your life effortlessly. The more you trust, the more you open yourself up to receiving. Many people block the flow of abundance because they don't believe they are worthy of it, or because they feel guilty for desiring more. Trusting the universe means releasing these limiting beliefs. It means knowing that you are deserving of everything you desire and that you are in perfect alignment with the abundant flow of the universe. There is no need to apologize for wanting more or for wanting the best for yourself. The universe doesn't judge, it simply responds to the energy you send out. When you open yourself up to abundance, you allow the universe to respond with generosity, bringing into your life the people, situations, and opportunities that will help you grow and expand. Trusting the universe's abundance also means recognizing that it doesn't operate on your timetable. Sometimes what you want may take time to manifest, but this doesn't mean that the universe is withholding anything from you. Instead, it's working behind the scenes, preparing everything perfectly so that when the time is ripe, your desires will come to fruition in the most harmonious way. Trusting the universe means having faith that what you need is always on its way, even if you can't see it yet. It requires patience and confidence in the knowing that your desires are already being drawn to you. When you trust the universe, you are no longer attached to the outcome, but you remain open and grateful for whatever comes your way. You stop worrying about how things will work out and start enjoying the journey. Abundance flows freely to those who trust, and when you trust the universe, you align yourself with that flow. The more you embrace this trust, the more you will begin to notice the abundance in every aspect of your life. You'll see that there is an endless supply of everything you need, and the universe is always there, supporting you, providing for you, and guiding you to exactly where you need to be. Trusting the universe's abundance is not just about attracting material wealth, it's about knowing that you are in the perfect place at the perfect time to receive everything the universe has to offer. When you trust the universe, you release the need to control everything and surrender to the flow of life. The desire for control often comes from a place of fear or insecurity. You believe that by controlling every detail of your life, you can ensure that things go according to your plan. But in reality, this constant need for control only creates stress and blocks the natural flow of energy that the universe provides. Trusting the universe means letting go of the illusion that you can control every aspect of your life and instead embracing the freedom that comes with surrender. The universe operates on a level of perfection that transcends human understanding. It is always working in your favor even when you can't see it. When you try to control every outcome, you limit the possibilities that could manifest in your life. By surrendering control, you open yourself up to a greater flow of opportunities, experiences, and outcomes. The universe knows what is best for you, even if it doesn't always match your expectations. When you let go and allow things to unfold naturally, you begin to see that everything falls into place in ways that you could never have orchestrated yourself. Trusting the universe requires you to surrender to the unknown. The unknown can feel uncomfortable because it challenges your sense of security. But the beauty of surrender is that it allows you to step into the flow of life with trust, knowing that the universe will guide you to where you need to be. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to passivity. It means actively letting go of the need to control and allowing yourself to be guided by a force greater than yourself. You release the pressure to make things happen, and instead you flow with the rhythm of life. When you trust the universe, you allow life to unfold in a way that is aligned with your highest good. You no longer feel the need to manipulate or force situations to work in your favor. Instead, you trust that the right circumstances, people, and events will appear when they are meant to. This trust gives you a sense of peace and relaxation, because you no longer feel responsible for controlling every detail. You start to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't look the way you imagined. Letting go of control also involves trusting your intuition. The universe communicates with you through your inner guidance, and when you trust that voice, you begin to move in harmony with life. Surrendering control allows you to listen to your intuition more clearly and act on it with confidence. You start to see that when you align with your inner knowing and let go of the need to control the outcome, everything flows more smoothly. Trusting the universe means that you no longer question your path or second guess your decisions, because you know that you are always being guided toward your highest purpose. Trusting the universe means letting go of the belief that you have to struggle for what you want. When you release the need for control, you allow yourself to relax and trust that everything you need is already on its way to you. The universe is always supporting you, guiding you, and providing for you in ways that may not always be obvious. When you surrender and trust, you open yourself to a life of ease, peace, and abundance, knowing that the universe has everything in motion on your behalf. When you trust the universe, you align yourself with the natural rhythms of life. The universe is always in motion, constantly working to bring you what you need at the right time. This alignment with the universe's rhythm means that you stop fighting against the flow and start moving with it. Life becomes a dance, and when you trust the universe, you let go of resistance and allow yourself to be guided by a greater force. You no longer feel like you're pushing against obstacles, trying to make things happen on your own. Instead, you begin to move in harmony with the natural flow of life, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. The rhythm of the universe is constant and unwavering. It doesn't hurry, it doesn't force things, and it doesn't make mistakes. When you trust the universe, you stop feeling like you're running out of time or that you have to hurry to reach your goals. You begin to understand that the universe operates on its own timing, which is always perfect. It knows when the right moment is for your desires to come to fruition, and when you trust this, you find peace in the present moment. You release the pressure of trying to control the pace of your life and start to relax into the understanding that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Aligning with the rhythm of the universe also means trusting that each experience, whether it feels positive or negative, is part of the greater plan. The universe knows what you need for your growth, and sometimes what appears to be a setback is actually a necessary step in the journey toward your desires. When you trust the universe, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles to overcome and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. You understand that everything serves a purpose, and that each experience is shaping you into the person you need to become to receive what the universe has in store for you. Moving in alignment with the universe's rhythm also means letting go of resistance to change. The universe is always evolving, and when you trust it, you embrace change as a natural part of life. Instead of holding on to the past or trying to control the future, you learn to trust that change is a necessary part of your evolution. The more you resist change, the more difficult life becomes. But when you surrender to it, you move with the flow and everything becomes easier. You trust that change will bring you closer to your desires, and you allow yourself to flow with it instead of trying to fight against it. Trusting the universe also means trusting the process of manifestation. The universe works in mysterious ways, and the process of manifestation isn't always linear. Sometimes the path to your desires may take unexpected turns or involve experiences you didn't anticipate. But when you trust the universe, you know that these detours are part of the journey, leading you to exactly where you need to be. The universe is never rushing, it takes its time to bring everything together in perfect harmony. When you trust the rhythm of life, you stop forcing things to happen and start enjoying the flow, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Aligning with the rhythm of the universe means releasing the need for control and trusting that everything is working out in your favor. The more you trust, the more you relax into the flow of life. knowing that the universe has your back and will guide you every step of the way. Life becomes a smooth, effortless experience when you allow yourself to move in harmony with the natural rhythms of the universe, trusting that everything is unfolding in divine order. Trusting the universe is not just about waiting for things to happen, it's about having faith in the unseen forces that are always working on your behalf. It is a deep belief that everything in your life is orchestrated by something greater than yourself. The universe operates from a space of infinite intelligence, guiding your experiences and unfolding your desires in the most harmonious way possible. When you trust the universe, you acknowledge that there are forces beyond your comprehension that are aligning things for you. This is not a passive process, but an active practice of releasing doubt, fear, and impatience and allowing the universe to reveal its plan in its own time. Belief in the unseen is the key to trusting the universe. It means recognizing that even when you cannot see the results of your efforts, things are still happening behind the scenes. The universe is always in motion, working on your behalf, even when it doesn't seem like it. Often the most significant changes in your life occur when you can't see them happening. These unseen forces are creating the perfect conditions for your growth, drawing the right people and situations into your life, and preparing the way for your dreams to come true. Trusting the universe means letting go of the need to control the details and allowing the unseen energies to work their magic. Faith in the unseen forces that guide you also means accepting that sometimes the outcome of your desires might look different than you imagined. The universe knows exactly what you need, and it may bring things into your life in ways you didn't anticipate. What seems like a detour may actually be the most direct path to your desires. The universe has a broader view than you do, and by trusting in this bigger picture, you let go of the need to understand every twist and turn. You trust that everything is happening for your highest good, even if it doesn't immediately make sense. When you trust the universe's unseen forces, you stop feeling the need to force things to happen. You release the belief that you must struggle or fight to make your dreams come true. Instead, you begin to allow things to unfold naturally, knowing that what is meant for you will come at the perfect time. This doesn't mean you stop taking action, it means you stop trying to force things to happen in a specific way. You align your efforts with the flow of the universe, trusting that every step you take is part of a greater plan. Trusting the unseen forces also requires patience. The universe operates on its own time, and its timing is always perfect. It's easy to become frustrated when things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, but trusting the universe means understanding that things will unfold when they are meant to. Your desires are being prepared in the background, and in the meantime you are learning, growing, and evolving. The more you trust in the unseen forces, the more you relax into the flow of life. You stop stressing about when things will happen and begin enjoying the journey, knowing that everything you desire is already on its way. Having faith in the unseen forces is about trusting in the invisible support system that the universe provides. It is about letting go of the need to see immediate results and believing that the universe is always working for you, even when you can't see how. This unwavering trust allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, the universe is guiding you toward your highest good. The more you trust in these unseen forces, the more you will begin to see evidence of their support in your life, and the more you will embrace the beauty of surrender. In trusting the universe, you reclaim your power and step into a space of peace and abundance. Letting go of control and surrendering to the flow of life is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of strength and wisdom. When you trust the universe, you align with the natural rhythms of existence, and you allow the invisible forces that guide you to shape your life in ways beyond your comprehension. Every desire, every dream, and every wish is already on its way to you, working behind the scenes, waiting for the perfect moment to unfold. Trusting the universe is about having faith that you are supported, you are protected, and everything is happening for your highest good. The universe has never failed you, and it never will. Let go, relax, and trust the process, for when you do, you will see that everything you need is already within reach, and all that is left to do is to embrace the journey with an open heart and unwavering belief in the magic of life. Have you ever stood at the edge of a vast, untamed wilderness, gazing into the unknown and feeling both fear and exhilaration? Life often feels like that wilderness, teeming with possibilities, yet shrouded in mystery. Many stand frozen at the threshold, paralyzed by doubt, longing for abundance but unable to take the first step. What if I told you that within you lies an uncharted map to wealth and opportunity? And what if that map could be unveiled in just 7 days? Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how do you define abundance? Is it wealth in your hands or peace in your heart? Is it opportunities knocking at your door, or is it the courage to build doors where none exist? Too often we chase the illusion of abundance, running tirelessly after fleeting treasures, only to find ourselves empty, worn, and disillusioned. Yet true abundance is not a prize to be won, it is a state to be awakened. Consider this: everything you need to transform your life exists already within you. The seeds of prosperity are sown deep in the soil of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your intentions. But how do you cultivate them? How do you bring them to fruition when the world outside seems determined to stifle their growth? Picture a gardener tending to barren land. Without care, the earth appears lifeless. But with patience and precision, the gardener waters, nurtures, and coaxes life from the soil. The same is true for the abundance you seek. It is not absent, it is merely dormant, waiting for you to awaken it. But here's the paradox: abundance is as much about what you release as it is about what you gain. Can you let go of the scarcity mindset that binds you? Can you release the fears that whisper you are not enough? Can you abandon the habits that keep you tethered to mediocrity? To attract wealth and opportunity, you must first create space for them to enter. Let me ask you this: what if you could reframe your reality in just 7 days? What if, by shifting your focus, your habits, and your perspective, you could transform the wilderness of your life into a garden of abundance? 7 days may seem like a fleeting moment in the grand narrative of your life, yet it holds the potential to rewrite the story altogether. Imagine waking up 7 days from now, no longer weighed down by doubt, but filled with certainty. What if you could identify and align with the opportunities that have always been within your grasp? Imagine the clarity of vision that comes when the fog of fear lifts, revealing a horizon full of promise. But before we embark on this journey, I must remind you this transformation demands more than mere intention. It requires discipline, courage, and faith. It asks that you confront your own shadows, the beliefs that have kept you small, the habits that have dulled your potential, the fears that have held you captive. It is not an easy path, but it is a worthy one. Over the next 7 days, you will be challenged to reimagine what abundance truly means. You will be invited to take small yet profound steps that will shift the course of your life. Each day will build upon the last, guiding you closer to the wealth and opportunities you deserve, not because you have earned them, but because they were always meant for you. Today, as we stand on the brink of this journey, I invite you to ask yourself one final question: are you ready? Are you ready to step out of the wilderness of doubt and into the light of possibility? Are you ready to embrace abundance, not as a distant dream, but as a living reality? If your answer is yes, then join me. Together we will uncover the hidden map within you. Together we will chart a course to the life you were destined to live. This is not merely a guide to attract wealth, it is an invitation to awaken the abundance that has been waiting patiently for you to claim it. So let us begin. 7 days to abundance. 7 days to transform your life. The first step is yours to take. Will you take it? Step 1: recognize gratitude as the gateway to abundance. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling, it is the foundation upon which abundance is built. The world often teaches us to measure wealth by what we possess: money, property, achievements, but true abundance begins within. It is not about accumulating more, it is about recognizing the value of what you already have. Without gratitude, even the grandest of fortunes will feel empty, while with it, the simplest joys can become profound treasures. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Think about your life. What are the small yet priceless things that sustain you every day? The warmth of the sun on your face, the laughter of a friend, the food on your table, the ability to dream. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And this shift is not merely a psychological trick, it is a powerful energetic realignment. When you focus on abundance, you invite more of it into your life. But gratitude is not passive, it is an active practice. Start each day by naming 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be monumental sometimes, the smallest blessings are the most profound. Write them down, reflect on them, and let the feeling of thankfulness take root in your heart. Gratitude is like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Over time, you'll notice a transformation. The things you once took for granted will begin to feel like miracles. Gratitude also changes how you perceive challenges. Life will always present difficulties, but when you approach them with a grateful heart, even setbacks can become opportunities. For example, instead of lamenting a door that has closed, be grateful for the lessons it taught you and for the new doors it may lead you to. This shift in perspective turns obstacles into stepping stones on the path to abundance. Another profound aspect of gratitude is its ability to connect you with others. When you express genuine appreciation to those around you, you strengthen bonds and open channels for collaboration and mutual support. Abundance is rarely a solitary experience, it flourishes in communities where gratitude is shared. Ultimately, gratitude is more than a practice, it is a way of being. It anchors you in the present moment, allowing you to see life not as a race to acquire, but as a gift to be cherished. And in this state of gratitude, abundance ceases to be a distant goal and becomes a lived reality. As you begin your journey toward wealth and opportunity, let gratitude be your guide, your foundation, and your compass. Step 2. Clarify your vision of abundance. Before you can attract abundance, you must define what it means to you. The world is full of noise, urging you to chase one version of success after another: more money, more possessions, more status. But true abundance is deeply personal. What fulfills one person may leave another feeling empty. This is why clarity is essential. Without it, you may find yourself climbing a ladder, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. Take a moment to ask yourself, what does abundance look like to me? Is it the freedom to travel the world, the ability to provide for your family without worry, or the time to pursue your passions? Or perhaps it is less tangible, a sense of inner peace, a life filled with meaningful relationships, or the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others. There is no right or wrong answer, only your truth. To gain clarity, try this exercise. Imagine your ideal day in vivid detail. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed, what does your life look like? Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? As you visualize, pay attention to how you feel. Are you content, energized, at peace? These feelings are clues pointing you toward what abundance truly means for you. Once you have a vision, write it down. Be as specific as possible. Saying, "I want to be wealthy," is too vague. Instead, define what wealth means to you. Is it earning a certain amount each month? Owning a home in a specific location? Having the resources to fund your children's education? The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to align your actions with your desires. But clarity is not just about knowing what you want, it is also about understanding why you want it. Dig deep into your motivations. Are they rooted in fear, comparison, or societal pressure? Or are they born from a genuine desire to grow, contribute, and live authentically? When your vision is aligned with your core values, it becomes a powerful force that can guide and sustain you. Clarity also involves recognizing what abundance is not. It is not greed, excess, or the relentless pursuit of more at the expense of your well-being or integrity. True abundance is holistic. It enriches your life without depleting your soul. As you clarify your vision, ensure that it reflects not just what you want to achieve, but also who you want to become. Remember, your vision is not set in stone. As you grow, it will evolve. What matters is that you remain aligned with your truth. Clarity is not a destination, it is a practice of returning to yourself again and again and asking, what does abundance mean to me today? With this clarity, you will navigate your journey with purpose, confidence, and the certainty that you are moving toward the life you were meant to live. Step 3, take small, consistent actions toward abundance. Abundance is not a matter of luck or coincidence, it is the natural result of aligned action. Yet the idea of taking action often feels overwhelming. The sheer size of our dreams can intimidate us into inaction, leaving us frozen at the starting line. But here's the secret: success is not built in giant leaps, it is crafted in small, consistent steps. Each step, no matter how small, propels you closer to the life you desire. Think of abundance as a garden. A single seed may seem insignificant, but with daily care, water, sunlight, and nurturing, it grows into something extraordinary. In the same way, your consistent efforts, no matter how modest they seem, compound over time. The key is to focus not on the final harvest, but on the daily tending of your dreams. Begin by identifying one small action you can take today. It might be setting a budget, learning a new skill, reaching out to someone who inspires you, or dedicating just 10 minutes to planning your goals. These small actions create momentum, and momentum builds confidence. With each step forward, you send a message to yourself and the universe: I am ready for abundance. Consistency is where many falter. The allure of instant results can lead to impatience, and impatience often breeds discouragement. But remember, the most worthwhile transformations take time. The mighty oak does not grow overnight, it begins as an acorn, steadily expanding its roots beneath the surface. Trust in the process, even when progress is invisible. Action also requires focus. The world is full of distractions that can pull you away from your purpose. Social media, endless to-do lists, and the opinions of others can scatter your energy. Protect your focus as though it were the most valuable resource you have, because it is. Set clear priorities, eliminate unnecessary distractions, and dedicate time each day to the actions that matter most to your vision of abundance. Another important element of action is adaptability. As you move forward, you may encounter obstacles or realize that certain strategies are not working. Do not view these moments as failures, they are opportunities to refine your approach. Be flexible, willing to learn, and open to change. Abundance rewards those who persist, adapt, and innovate. Celebrate your progress. Too often we focus on how far we still have to go, rather than acknowledging how far we've come. Each small victory, each completed action, is a step closer to the life you envision. By celebrating these milestones, you reinforce your commitment and sustain your motivation. Remember, abundance is not a distant destination, it is a journey. And the journey begins with action. No matter how small your first step may seem, it carries the power to transform your life. Take it, and keep taking it, one day at a time. Step 4. Have faith in the process and in yourself. Faith is the invisible force that bridges the gap between your vision and its manifestation. Without faith, even the clearest vision and the most determined actions will falter. Faith is not just a belief in something greater, it is the unwavering confidence that the abundance you seek is already on its way. It allows you to move forward, even when the path is unclear, and to trust in the process, even when results are not immediate. Faith begins with a deep trust in yourself. You are more capable, resourceful, and resilient than you may realize. Yet self-doubt often creeps in, whispering lies that you are not enough. These doubts are natural, but they are not truths. Faith means choosing to believe in your potential even when fear and uncertainty try to convince you otherwise. Consider this: every great achievement in history began as an idea that required faith to bring it to life. The innovators, leaders, and visionaries we admire all faced moments of doubt, yet they persisted because they believed in the possibility of something greater. That same faith lives within you. It is a quiet strength waiting to be called upon. Faith also requires trust in the process. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up each day to check if it's growing. You trust that with time and care it will bloom. Similarly, when you take action toward abundance, you must trust that your efforts are building momentum, even if the results are not immediately visible. Impatience can be the enemy of faith. Resist the urge to rush the process and instead embrace the journey. Another aspect of faith is surrender. This does not mean giving up. It means releasing your need to control every detail and allowing space for the unexpected. Life has a way of delivering abundance in forms you may not anticipate. By surrendering to the flow of life, you remain open to opportunities that may look different from what you envisioned but are equally, if not more, rewarding. Faith also involves a connection to something greater than yourself. Whether you call it the universe, God, or simply the natural order of life, there is a force that works in harmony with your efforts. When you align your vision and actions with this greater force, you create a powerful synergy that propels you toward abundance. Prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection can help you deepen this connection and reinforce your faith. Faith is a practice. It is not something you summon once and forget. It is something you cultivate daily. When doubts arise, and they will return to your vision, remind yourself of your why. Visualize the life you are creating and feel the certainty that it is already yours. This practice strengthens your faith and keeps you aligned with your path. Faith is not about having all the answers, it is about trusting that the answers will come. It is the light that guides you through uncertainty, the courage that carries you through challenges, and the assurance that abundance is already within your reach. Hold on to this faith, and it will sustain you every step of the way. Step 5. Let go of control and trust the flow of abundance. One of the most paradoxical truths about abundance is that the more you try to control every aspect of your journey, the more you restrict its flow. Letting go of control does not mean abandoning your goals or surrendering to passivity. Instead, it means releasing your attachment to how and when abundance should manifest and allowing space for the unexpected gifts of life. Think about water flowing through a river. When the river flows freely, it nourishes everything it touches, carving paths and creating life. But when we build dams to control its movement, we stifle its natural course. In the same way, trying to control every detail of your life creates resistance, while letting go allows abundance to flow naturally. Trusting the process is the key to unlocking the limitless possibilities that surround you. Letting go of control begins with identifying the areas where you are holding on too tightly. Are you obsessing over outcomes, trying to micromanage every step, or feeling anxious when things don't go as planned? These behaviors stem from the fear of uncertainty, failure, or loss. Recognizing this fear is the first step toward releasing it. Next, remind yourself that abundance often arrives in forms you cannot foresee. Sometimes the path you envision is not the best path for you. By clinging to rigid expectations, you may overlook opportunities that are even better than what you imagined. Trust that the universe, or whatever greater force you believe in, has a broader perspective and is guiding you toward what serves your highest good. Letting go also requires surrendering to the present moment. Too often we live in the future, constantly worrying about what might happen or trying to force our plans into place. But abundance is found in the now. When you release the need to control the future, you free yourself to fully experience and appreciate the present. This presence creates a fertile ground for abundance to take root. An essential part of letting go is cultivating patience. Abundance operates on its own timeline, not ours. Just as a tree takes years to grow from a seed, your dreams may take time to manifest. Impatience only creates frustration and hinders your progress. Practice patience by focusing on what you can do today, while trusting that the results will come in due time. Letting go does not mean inaction, it means inspired action. It means taking steps toward your goals, while remaining open to adjustments along the way. It's about striking a balance between effort and trust, knowing that you are co-creating your reality with forces beyond your control. When you let go of the need to dictate every outcome, You invite abundance to flow into your life in ways that will amaze and inspire you. Step 6. Persevere through challenges and keep moving forward. The journey to abundance is rarely a straight line. It is a path marked by highs and lows, victories and setbacks. The difference between those who achieve abundance and those who do not lies not in the absence of challenges but in their response to them. Perseverance is the bridge that carries you over the chasm of adversity and toward the life you desire. Challenges are an inevitable part of growth. They test your commitment, resilience, and faith. But here's the truth: challenges are not obstacles to abundance, they are part of its process. Every difficulty you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. The question is not whether you will encounter challenges, but whether you will let them stop you or use them to propel you forward. Perseverance begins with mindset. When setbacks occur, it's easy to feel defeated and question your path. But instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Shifting your perspective transforms challenges from roadblocks into stepping stones. Each lesson you learn brings you closer to abundance. Resilience is the backbone of perseverance. Life may knock you down, but resilience is what helps you rise again. Cultivate resilience by focusing on your strengths, seeking support when needed, and reminding yourself of your why. Why did you start this journey? What is the vision that keeps you moving forward? Anchoring yourself in this purpose gives you the strength to weather any storm. Another important aspect of perseverance is adaptability. Sometimes the path you are on may not lead where you expected. Rather than clinging stubbornly to a plan that no longer serves you, be willing to pivot. Adaptation is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of wisdom. When you adjust your course in response to challenges, you demonstrate your ability to navigate life with grace and intelligence. Consistency is also crucial. Perseverance is not about occasional bursts of effort. It is about showing up every day, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Remember, small, consistent actions build momentum over time. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to abundance. Trust that your efforts are accumulating even if you cannot yet see the results. Celebrate your perseverance. Acknowledge the strength it takes to keep going, especially when the journey is difficult. Each challenge you overcome is a testament to your resilience and a reminder of your capacity to create the life you desire. Abundance is not just the destination, it is the character you build along the way. Perseverance transforms trials into triumphs, doubts into determination, and obstacles into opportunities. As you move forward, hold on to the belief that every step, no matter how challenging, is leading you closer to the abundance you deserve. Keep going. The reward is worth the effort. Step 7. Share your abundance to multiply its power. The final step on the journey to abundance is one of the most transformative: sharing. True abundance is not about hoarding wealth, resources, or opportunities. It is about creating a flow that enriches not only your life but also the lives of those around you. When you give freely and generously, you activate a cycle of abundance that multiplies what you have while making the world a better place. At first glance, the idea of sharing abundance might seem counterintuitive. How can giving away what you have lead to more? This is where the deeper understanding of abundance comes into play. Abundance is not finite, it is infinite. When you give, you do not lose, you create space for more to flow into your life. The act of giving signals to the universe that you trust in its endless supply, and in turn it rewards you with even greater blessings. Start by recognizing that abundance exists in many forms, and sharing does not always have to involve material wealth. You can share your time, your knowledge, your kindness, and your encouragement. Sometimes the most impactful gifts are intangible. A kind word, a helping hand, or a moment of genuine connection can create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Sharing your abundance begins with gratitude. When you are deeply grateful for what you have, you naturally want to share it. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to sufficiency, allowing you to see how much you truly have to give. Think about the people and causes that matter most to you. How can you use your resources, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, to uplift them? By giving to others, you amplify the abundance in your own life. Generosity is also a profound teacher. When you share, you learn that abundance is not measured by accumulation but by impact. A wealthy person who hoards their riches may feel impoverished in spirit, while someone with modest means who gives freely can experience profound joy and fulfillment. Sharing teaches you that the greatest wealth lies not in what you keep, but in what you give away. Moreover, sharing abundance strengthens your connection to others. Humans are inherently social beings, and our greatest joys often come from meaningful relationships. When you give, you build trust, deepen bonds, and create a sense of community. These connections are themselves a form of abundance, an invaluable network of support, collaboration, and shared purpose. Sharing also inspires others to do the same. Your act of generosity can ignite a chain reaction, encouraging those around you to give as well. This ripple effect has the power to create a culture of abundance, where resources flow freely and everyone benefits. Imagine a world where people are not driven by fear of scarcity but by the joy of giving. By sharing your abundance, you contribute to building that world. It's important to remember that sharing does not mean depleting yourself. True generosity comes from a place of overflow, not obligation. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so take care of yourself first. Ensure that you have enough to meet your needs and sustain your well-being before giving to others. When you give from a place of abundance rather than sacrifice, your generosity is authentic and sustainable. Sharing your abundance also reinforces the mindset of abundance. The more you give, the more you affirm your belief in the infinite nature of wealth and opportunity. This belief shapes your thoughts, actions, and energy, making you a magnet for even greater abundance. It becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. The more you give, the more you receive, and the more you are able to give. Finally, sharing abundance creates a legacy. The impact of your generosity extends beyond your lifetime, influencing future generations. When you share your resources, knowledge, and values, you leave a lasting imprint on the world. Your actions inspire others to carry forward the spirit of abundance, creating a ripple effect that transcends time. Consider this: every great change in history began with someone who was willing to share. Whether it was a groundbreaking idea, a selfless act, or a visionary plan, the willingness to give was the seed that grew into something extraordinary. You have that same power within you. By sharing your abundance, you become a force for good, a beacon of possibility, and a creator of change. As you stand at the end of this journey to abundance, remember that the purpose of wealth, whether material, emotional, or spiritual, is not to keep it locked away, but to use it to make the world brighter. Your abundance is not just for you, it is a gift meant to be shared. The more you give, the more you will realize that abundance is not a destination but a way of life. Share your abundance freely and joyfully. Let it flow from you like a river, nourishing everyone it touches. In doing so, you will not only multiply what you have, but also discover the true meaning of wealth, a life filled with purpose, connection, and endless opportunities to give and receive. Abundance is a cycle, and by sharing, you ensure that it continues to flow for you, for others, and for the world. As we come to the end of this journey, let us pause and reflect on what it truly means to embrace abundance. Over the past steps, we have uncovered that abundance is not merely about material wealth, but about cultivating a mindset and a way of being that transforms every aspect of your life. It is about recognizing the treasures you already possess, clarifying your vision, taking consistent action, trusting the process, persevering through challenges, and sharing your gifts with the world. Abundance is not a destination, it is a journey. It is a choice you make every single day to believe in possibility, to embrace growth, and to align your actions with your dreams. It is not reserved for the fortunate few, it is available to all who are willing to claim it. The question is, will you? Will you take what you've learned and begin applying it today? Will you commit to the small steps that lead to monumental change? Will you allow abundance to flow through the lives of others? The path to abundance is not always easy, but it is always worthwhile. You may face doubts, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty, But remember this, everything you need to succeed is already within you. The seeds of abundance are planted in your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. With patience, faith, and persistence, those seeds will grow into a life of wealth, opportunity, and fulfillment. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. Abundance is not something you find, it is something you become. When you embody gratitude, clarity, action, faith, perseverance, and generosity, you align yourself with the flow of life's endless possibilities. You become a magnet for wealth and opportunities, not by chasing them, but by creating the conditions for them to naturally gravitate toward you. And as you embrace this journey, do not forget the power of sharing. Abundance is most profound when it is multiplied through generosity. When you uplift others, you not only amplify the abundance in their lives, but also in your own. Together we can create a world where wealth and opportunity are not scarce, but shared, a world where abundance is a collective reality. As we close, I leave you with this thought. Abundance is your birthright. It is not a dream reserved for the select few, but a reality waiting for you to claim. The steps we've explored are simple yet profound. They are the keys to unlocking the life you've always envisioned. The only thing left is for you to take the first step. Will you? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The abundance is yours. So rise, act, and embrace it. Your journey begins now. Thank you, and may your life overflow with endless wealth, opportunities, and joy.